Developing tonight, Medford police are still looking for a driver involved in a possible felony hit and run. The Trump and Biden campaigns are in a full-scale pivot to the general election after the former president's double-digit win. Grants Pass Mayor Sarah Bristol hosted a public forum tonight. She invited the chief petitioner in a recall effort against her to participate. That sounds like a good time to bring in our resident eclipse expert, MET5 chief meteorologist.
I wish I had the props.
We have some breaking news. The Josephine County Sheriff's Office says a level 3 go now evacuation order is in effect. Let's answer that question of the day, Bobby. 80% of us have this in our fridge right now. I'm gonna go ranch.
You're going ranch. I'm going ketchup.
Okay, condiments here. Okay,
Yeah.
I think those are both old, reliable anytime you need them.
Like an application process? Do you have to cover a 6-minute mile or something?
I don't think I'd pass the fitness test for that one, but I don't know, maybe one day.
Okay.
All good answers. Shall we do a little drum roll, please?
For sure. Bottle
yes!
ranch. You get
Winner!
to dance. You get to dance.
What do we want?
You get to dance.
Graduation rates in Oregon are at the second highest in the state's history. Alan, how do you prioritize what areas of your system to focus on? I imagine you have potentially millions of miles of power lines.
That's a great question.
Ethan McReynolds is standing by to break down animal evacuations, but first, we're learning more about how many people are affected and just how those evacuations work. The stabbings happened right here near the 9th Street footbridge next to Bear Creek. MPD says it's an area they respond to crime frequently. In the annual drift boat course, around 17 students are given the opportunity to practice techniques to respond to emergency situations. The goal, to safely patrol Oregon's waterways. Measure 114 is the one most people are watching. It's the only ballot measure nationwide that addresses gun violence. This F-18 is one of the many military aircrafts that guests will have the opportunity to check out when they come on down here to Century Eagle this Saturday. The developer behind the project tells me this 6-acre lot behind me will eventually become the first ever 3D printed home community in the U.S. Burns is making his debut on February 8th in Beijing at Mount Shasta Ski Park. Jenna King, NBC 5 News.
You ready for your first lesson?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Joining you from 900 feet above Montague at the Hot Air Balloon Fair. And check out this view. You'll have to come and check it out to experience it yourself. That's the sound of just one of a dozen hot air balloons soaring to new heights over Siskiyou County. That's all part of the Montague Hot Air Balloon Fair that dates all the way back to the 90s. This year's event features 12 balloons with pilots from 4 different states.
Next thing you know, I'm learning to fly.
For pilot Drew Brown, his interest sparked from his father. The Medford local has been taking people up to a bird's eye view for over 20 years. Why hot air balloons?
Why not? Have you seen this thing?
Brown's hot air balloon, dubbed Daybreak, is 77,000 cubic feet. That equates to 77,000 basketballs filling the entire balloon, carrying up to 1,200 pounds. Joining you from 900 feet above Montague at the Hot Air Balloon Fair. And check out this view. You'll have to come and check it out to experience it yourself. The Montague Rotary Club helped get the high-flying tradition off the ground.
It's just a free event for our community to come and enjoy our beautiful scenery in Siskiyou County and enjoy our balloons.
If you look up, you'll see Smokey the Bear even lining the sky this year.
So gratifying because the community really enjoys it. People come from Medford, they come from Reading, they come from all over to enjoy the beautiful balloons. It's just magical and mystical.
If heights aren't your thing, there are still tons of activities happening on the ground. The weekend-long event includes a night glow experience, car show, live music, and food trucks. And when it's all said and done, how do people describe the experience?
Beautiful is a good word. Everybody seems to, that seems to be a good descriptive word for everybody. It was just a great ride, very beautiful, very calm, amazing.
Ecstatic and on a total high when they drop.
Lots of smiles.
Lots of smiles. These dams are coming down, and it's about damn time.
Governor Kate Brown, Governor Gavin Newsom, U.S. Secretary of Interior Deb Haaland, and tribal leaders all coming together to celebrate the world's largest dam removal along the Klamath River Thursday. The groups meeting at Iron Gate Fish Hatchery in Hornbrook. Last month, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission issued the final approval of the historic plan to remove 4 dams on the Klamath River in California and Oregon. The decision is a culmination of years of work on the project's licensee, PacifiCorp, Pacific Power's parent company, on the parts of Oregon and California, and several state and local agencies, along with several tribes.
The folks out there that exercised your leadership every single day, that dialectic that we had throughout this process, where you expected and demanded more. You expressed that at times, and sometimes it was uncomfortable. Other times it was absolutely justifiable. I just want to thank you for making this moment possible.
The Klamath Basin watershed covers 9.4 million acres, an area larger than 9 U.S. states. Leaders of the Klamath, Yurok, and Karuk tribes attended Thursday. The tribes say the project will revitalize nearly 400 miles of the Klamath River and its tributaries, hoping to help restore river health and fish populations. Yurok Chairman Joe James says this is a time in history people will look back on.
What does this mean to us? You know, it means a lot of things. You know, it means our heart, our passion, our commitment. You know, for me, we always go back to our culture, our prayers, our dances, our ceremonies. You know, our prayers have been answered.
But the day of celebration was met with some pushback from the community opposing the plan. A group of Copco Lake area residents say dam removal will drastically impact their way of life.
A lot of people here, a lot of people that live around the lake have already moved because of the impending disaster that's going to happen. When a lake dries up, it's not a beautiful green field. It's a dry, crusty salt flat once everything dries out.
It's also opposed by Southern Oregon Congressman Cliff Bentz and Northern California Congressman Doug LaMalfa, both Republicans. They say the argument for removing the dams is based on questionable research.